Hi guys, welcome to Reality with T. I'm on vacation in a hotel in Florida, and I was trying to get some time away from the kids. So right now I'm in my mother's room and I'm gonna shoot a quick video. I know I'm a week late, so I'm not even gonna talk that long. When you get a chance, please check out Little Black Book 91's panel that I was on last week at the very beginning, and we had a pretty in-depth conversation about Rachel and Jose and the issue between them or that might arise in their relationship. Either way, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I know I'm late on posting this, so I'm not going to take very long. But let me just start quickly with Rachel and Jose. We had a very in-depth conversation about them and Rachel's need to hold on to her control and her independence, and Jose seemingly trying to putting out there that he is going to be someone who wants to be in control in their relationship. I'm seeing red flags all the way. Number one, I already see red flags because I find Jose to be somewhat feminine, have feminine mannerisms. The issue is, it feels to me that he's trying to prove himself because he keeps talking about masculinity. I can't turn down advances from my wife because that wouldn't be masculine of me. I want to provide for my wife because that would be more masculine. It almost feels like, who challenged his masculinity before that he has to go over and beyond to prove how masculine he is? I think there's also a cultural disparity. They are both Latina. And I know in that culture, oftentimes the male is the provider and does somewhat control finances and everything. And that might be what he sees as his perfect relationship. Remember, Jose talks about his resume 3 or 4 times an episode. He got his degrees, he got his master's, he bought two pieces of property, he's got businesses, whatever it is he's set up. And it makes me a little weary. And this is where I got what I said was misconstrued. It makes me a little weary. It seems to me that because he's so proud of his resume and he keeps reiterating, this is what I got, my degrees, I have money, I don't have any loan debt. And he's very proud of himself, which is great. But the fact that he feels the need to keep saying it, and he says, I did all this so that when it comes time for the marriage, I can focus on that. That makes perfect sense. It feels ingenuine to me that he was trying to build up. It feels like he was doing all this in order to create a perfect look to this life. All right, I did everything I had to do money-wise, school-wise. Now I'm just going to find whatever woman I can get to fit in here in order to provide a look that I'm masculine, that I did everything I was supposed to do. Marry somebody, take care of her, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that is because maybe it's his insecurities. He talked about being insecure, about being short, his looks. And also, it seems that people have challenged his masculinity. So those are just a quick overview of some of my thoughts. What was miscommunicated was that it's ingenuine for him to plan and to plan for his future. Absolutely not. I am a squirrel. I keep all my money. I invest my money. Actually, before I started investing, because I didn't know about it, I just had mad money in my savings accounts. And so I said, let me sit with a financial advisor. And they're like, okay, you have all this money in a saving account, but it's not accruing any money. It's not growing. So this is what we need to do. But I'm definitely a planner. I did the same thing. I have my degrees. I bought property. I have the money put away. I'm already saving have the college savings accounts for my kids. I got all type of stuff going on. I would love to have a man the same way as Jose, who would have shown up and had all that done in his past as well. So I'm not saying that I do not agree with the fact, or I don't respect or give him credit for planning for his future. Absolutely, that's what we want. We want more men to do that and not just be taken, by surprise when they find somebody they want to settle down with and nothing is in place. But there's something that is not genuine about it. When I hear him speak, about how I did all this for marriage, I just feel like it's for the look of it. And I almost feel like even though he seems like he's into Rachel, he could almost replace her with anybody that they put him with, because the only missing piece he had was a woman to complete this pretty picture. And I think I said before, I don't know if I said this before, but he reminds me of Cisco from, if you guys ever saw Wife Swap a few years ago, Cisco from Drew Hill, when he would dress his wife so that they would match colors every day and match outfits every day. And His house was pristine. Everything was about the look. He was anal retentive. Everything was about perfection. You know what I mean? That's what he reminds me of. And people have also questioned his masculinity. So I'm wondering, I'm just trying to make some connections here. Is this a way for men who may have some insecurities about their masculinity or their sexual orientation or whatever it is, or if it's been challenged before, if this is their way to make it look like, look, I have the perfect wife. I don't know. It's just interesting. So I don't know. We'll see. Either way, back to them. He talks about feeding her, like how him feeding her makes him feel like he's taking care of her, saying he wants to brush her teeth, which I thought was a joke, but she took it as, you're making me feel like I'm a baby. I can brush my own teeth. I'm independent enough to do this. I'm a grown woman. I don't need you to do this. I think in his mind, it's showing that I'm taking care of you. So I think she's bending on, okay, we can feed each other. That's romantic and sweet, but you ain't brushing my teeth. You know what I mean? They went on dates. They went on separate dates. They went fishing. She enjoyed it. It was good because he got to show her, I think he does it, and he got to show her a little bit about what he does. But then, of course, there's a little bit of competition because it's like, wait, you're not going to outdo me, on Rachel's point. Rachel says that her father told her, listen, you don't want the rug ever pulled out from under you. You always have your own bag because we never know with men. You can go through a divorce, anything that could leave you. You always want to have your own so that you can do your own thing. And I completely agree with that. And I was probably told the same thing. In the panel, there were other people that said, oh, I wish that they told her the other side of the story, which is that you can find a man that would provide for you and that might have allow him to do what he can do to take care of you. And that's true. A lot of us are not told that. They talk about he owns his home. He wants her to move in with him. She made it very clear she wants to pay 50-50 because she sees with him paying more money, that allows him more control over her finances and her. And I see where she's coming from because we've seen it happen before. We know that sometimes, as once you have, maybe you become like a stay-at-home mom or you're not working and the husband is working and providing, he gets to count every cent, that everything that you do with the money because he's bringing it home. He's the provider. So it's almost like he feels like he has a say of what you do with his money and he's kind of giving you an allowance, and that's not what she wants. She says she wants to pull her weight and she wants them to be equal. Okay. Reminds me of Eric and Virginia, the same type of thing. Virginia wanted to keep her independence because she saw, I think, because they both see controlling characteristics in these potential mates. So, she did reveal to him that her spending is a problem. Now, here is where I also feel that Jose is kind of like, okay, I found a girl that has some issues. She's not perfect. She has some cracks in the glass. Let me glue them up. Let me fix them, and then she'll be perfect. So she says something like, listen, I might not have the best credit score, or I'm not great at spending. Maybe she needs some guidance there. Jose jumps in and is like, oh, we can fix that. Don't worry. I swear it feels like, it's like, just give me a piece of clay and let me mold it into the perfect woman or wife for the world to see. Anything that's broken, I'll fix it, but I just want this perfect marriage. And this is where is going to be an issue because he's looking at this in a very idealistic way and not realizing it's not going to be perfect regardless, right? On the other hand, that's great. She's not a great spender, saver, whatever it is. He can help her if that is where he excels. That's where they can balance each other out in the relationship, but it cannot be done in a way where he is controlling or telling. You know what I mean? Because that's just going to push her away, and that's what she's afraid of. So he talked about having a joint account. So he said she talked about they could have a joint account. He said, listen, we can put all our money together. She's like, no, I want my own. All right, we'll have a joint account. We'll put everything in there. Anything left over, you can use. And she's like, no, you're not going to have a control over what I use and how I spend my money. So this is the back and forth between them. And I think they tabled the conversation, but she's not comfortable with that. And I understand. Like, that's very hard. People say she got to lighten up. She's got to loosen up. She's got to let him provide for her. I understand that. Don't fight with him. You want to provide with you? Listen, let's do 70-30. Let's do 80-20. Listen, that's more money for me to play with, right? More money for me to save, whatever it is. But it's only been like 3 or 4 days. And it's hard to break habits. Me being a New Yorker, I understand. And being raised by a single mom. We see our parents and we have to do everything, right? Our mother, right? So if the garbage is full, we take it out. The door is closed, we open it, right? The dishes are dirty, we clean them, whatever it is, right? We do everything, and we see our mother do everything, right? Because there's not a man around to do it. When you get to in a relationship, now it's kind of like I'm just supposed to throw my hands up and allow you to do everything for me. It doesn't happen. It's not that simple. You have to kind of break those habits and allow it to happen. And it's not going to happen for her in 3 days. For example, I'm also, like I said, I'm a New Yorker. In New York, men are not rushing to carry your grocery bags in the door for you. We got to do it ourselves. People are not holding doors for us. We kind of do it ourselves. When I went down to Florida for college, there's something called Southern hospitality. Men are just raised a bit differently. There's something more gentlemanly about men that outside of New York. I don't know if it's everywhere, but just maybe Midwest, South, wherever. They take care. You have to move, we'll help you move your stuff. We see you walking home with a lot of grocery bags. I swear I would always in Florida, any people don't know you. They'll carry your bags to your door. Always holding the doors. Open the doors when you get into cars. We're not used to it. So I see a bag that needs to be carried, I'm just going to carry it, right? I see a door that needs to be open, I'm going to open it. But when I was there for a while, then I'm like, okay, wait, men do this for us. I could chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? Let me let them do it. So now when I work at the school and we have to do something like move science tables, all this kind of stuff, and all the women are like, all right, let's just carry the science tables to the next room. I'm like, wait a minute. We have men in the school who can do that. We have 15, 16-year-old boys who can do that. Men are supposed to do some of the dirty work and the heavy lifting for us, right? We're women. We should be taken care of, but it's not in our DNA, like for a lot of New Yorkers, to allow that to happen. So that's the only thing I want to say about that, about Rachel. I think it can work. We have to give her time. I think that we're looking at it like, oh, this is episode 5, but it's really only been a couple days for them. So we have to allow her to kind of start breaking those habits. And once she trusts him, then she could maybe be able to get to that next step. Okay. Let me know what you think about those two. And we have Boa and Johnny. And we really, really love them. And we have such high hopes for them, right? But, they start the episode talking about her snoring. And he's making jokes about it and blah, blah, blah. And, she still has the pillow in between them in the bed. He's like, can we move it? And she's like, I thought it was because you want to get good sleep. He values his sleep. And he's like, well, not if you're there. You know what I mean? He's trying to get closer to her. They like each other. She revealed that she likes to collect bathing suits and prance around the house in them. And that's fine because sometimes people collect, like she was saying, people collect lingerie. They don't go outside in them, but they want to see how good they look in them. So sometimes I'll just dress up and be like, oh, you look good. Like, whatever it is that floats your boat. She has her little quirks about her. I think it's cute. Let's see. So she buys the bathing suit. She likes the way she looks, which is great. She just likes to keep that private from the world. Okay, whatever. So, he decides to meet up with Jose at some point. Like, apparently they have developed a bromance, which happened very quickly. Jose acts like he has like a small crush on Johnny, but that's as far as I'm going to go with that for right now. I'm chilling out, y'all, right? But Johnny respects Jose and he looks up to Jose. He wants to be romantic like Jose is. So he asks him, Johnny was like a little bit of a player. So he don't really do this kind of thing. So he says, listen, take the route for a nice picnic on the pier or something like that, or on the beach or something. And he said, buy her an outfit. That's what you do. So he bought her an outfit or shirt that she could wear. And, he came back and gave it to her, and it was like a size extra large, and Bao was like a size 0. And she's like, okay, this is really big, but she wore it anyway. She did way better than Mryla probably would have. And she was like, the price tag. And she's like, wait, you left the price tag on. I'm kind of disappointed that you paid the whole thing. You didn't get it on sale. Like, why are you, like, I just, like, stop nitpicking at these guys. He don't know what the hell he's doing. Just say thank you. You know what I mean? The fact that he paid more for it than you thought he should have that should be flattering to you, girl. Keep it moving. Basically, he did all this so that he can tell her that he does like her. And he just wants some reassurance, I believe, that her feelings, that she feels the same way. And she tells him that her feelings are mutual. He seemed like very emotional. He was just kind of like, I never really feel this way about a girl. I love them getting to know you. And, I just want to know that you're on the same page. And she did. She talks about how he went on like 100 first dates, and she was like, I feel bad for him. And she brought up again a couple times this episode that he ghosted her. If he didn't ghost me, he probably wouldn't have had to go on all these dates. Well, maybe him going on all those dates prepared him for the relationship that you guys have. So, at the end, she brings up him teasing her about the snoring. She says she worked at a summer camp one time and she snored so bad she stayed awake because they teased her. She stayed awake for 3 days straight so she wouldn't fall asleep and she wouldn't snore. And so she would like it. She takes it very personally when he jokes on her about it, even though he doesn't mean to, but she would need him to stop. I do like that she is articulating her feelings, okay, and how she feels. But I feel that the way she does it sometimes comes out as like a reprimand or he's doing something wrong. And it makes him feel like, dang, I just took 2 steps forward and now I'm going 1 step back. Like, I can't really get my footing with her. You know what I mean? Like, am I doing something wrong? And he's already so insecure because he's used to clingers and girls who are all over him. That's what he would like. So it's like, dang, I'm thinking that you like me. Now it's kind of like you're reprimanding me. I like that she's, articulating herself, but if she could do it in a different way. She's very direct, which is good. But maybe if she did it in a different tone, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe she's made it playful. Like, please don't, don't. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's me being passive aggressive, but kind of like, maybe she could have given the story in a different way, of a more playful way, and say, please don't, can you not tease me about that? Because that actually is an insecurity of mine. I don't know, something. The way she says it is kind of like, he looks at it like, are you serious? You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Now, here we go with, let me go to Ryan and Brett real quick, okay? Because the other two. So, Ryan and Brett, they start out, Ryan is still talking about whatever behavior she had on the airplane. Like, dude, people are afraid of airplanes. Like, why are you not being there with her? Why are you still, like, talking about this topic? Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's perfect. Like, help her out. Keep it moving, She asked him, I think at some point, if he could slather some sunscreen on her, and he says, well, we may need more than one person. I didn't understand that. Was he trying to say that she's too big for him to do it by himself? Was she too pale? Either way, it was kind of like a slight to her. I didn't like it. I didn't find it funny, and I don't really understand it. But she kind of just laughed with it and kept going. Like, every time he has something slick to say, she kind of like gives it back to him or to laugh it off. But I was like, I'm thinking she's inviting him, like she's trying to like be flirtatious. And he should have been like, yeah, I'm excited. You know what I mean? But he was just, something about him is kind of off-putting, that personality. I don't know what it is. Kind of jerkish. Or is he not into her? I'm not sure. So, he acts like everything is a hassle. He acts like helping her on the airplane is a hassle. Putting on sunscreen is a hassle. Like, come on, dude. Brett talks about wanting a deeper conversation and not being surface level. And I remember Olivia saying that about the other Brett in the previous season, where it's like, in the end, she said everything was just surface level. You wouldn't get deeper with me. And he does remind me of that Brett, a little jerkish. You know what I mean? We'll see how this goes. Because I really do like, Ryan. I really do like Brett. Now, I'm hoping that he isn't a jerk. You know what I mean? Because I like her personality. Brett talks about kids. And while they're having a massage, and he says, I definitely want kids. That was like a deal breaker for me. I definitely want kids. Then he immediately changes the subject to intimacy. He wants it to be known that he's a sexual person. Okay, that's great. She's also trying to get to know you first. You know what I mean? They had a dinner together. He brings up kids again. He says that was a non-negotiable for him. He wants more than one kid. She does reassure him that she wants a family. She was kind of 50-50 first, but, she wants a family definitely if the other person with her wants a family. The way, it's almost like he started laughing right after, he started like smiling right after she said that. Like, oh, okay, we can move forward. Again, I feel like he just wanted somebody to have babies with. You know what I'm saying? I don't get from him that he's completely into her, even though they say chemistry and attraction is building. It's almost like, all right, we got over that hump. She'll have kids for me. You know what I mean? Okay, whatever. Like, whoever could be in this slot. It just feels disingenuous to me, the way these folks are acting. Like, okay, I have all my finances together. I just need a wife. All right, I did all my dates and stuff. Now I need somebody to have my kids. Zack, I've been dreaming about marriage and a wedding all my 27 years of life. Now I have somebody. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that they get to know each other and they're not just trying to like check off their bucket list of things they wanted to do, Let's see. She wants a family. Yeah, she feels attraction toward him. He feels it toward her. I don't see it, but I guess we'll see where this goes. Zach and Makayla, they didn't have too much going on, but Zach has COVID. And for some reason, they decided Kayla should fly back to Texas and not quarantine with him. Of course, they don't want her to get sick, but I didn't understand why she couldn't just be in another room on the resort and participate in some of the activities with the other couples while he quarantined. Possibly talk to him over the balcony in the next room. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand why she had to go all the way back to Houston and leave him on the island. He's still enjoying the island. He could at least go to on the terrace and get the ocean sound. You know what I mean? I don't know. Either way, she acted like a complete brat about it. He's saying, I don't, somebody didn't feel comfortable being next to each other. I guess he's not trying to get her sick, but she's kind of like, I can't believe this happened. I want to spend time with my husband. Da da da. Like, dude, you just met him. He didn't catch COVID on purpose. He's trying to protect you. Why are you not thankful that he's not trying to get you sick? But she just acted like a complete brat. She acted like it was something that he planned. And he said, I didn't plan to get COVID. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're going to see how this goes because she a little crazy out the eye. That's from what I see. She's a little crazy out the eye. So we're going to see where this goes. We're going to see when Hurricane K pops out, okay? Lastly, Mryla and Gil. We know Mryla is the least favorite on the show, basically, at this point for a lot of people. They wake up. Somebody brought them breakfast. She's complaining again. No protein. They just brought her a croissant. Coffee and have no milk. She wanted him to taste, is the milk cow's milk or almond milk? You tell me. And he says, I think he said he would know the difference or something like that. And she's like, he's like, okay, it's cow's milk. She calls back down, I want frothed almond milk. If this hotel, and I do agree, the hotel was not honeymoon worthy, right? For any of them. Lifetime definitely could have put more money into this. But if you know the hotel don't got much, they ain't gonna bring you no frothed almond milk. Like I said, I'm at a hotel in Florida now. It's nice enough. I ain't getting no frothed almond milk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not. Like, I already know where I'm staying. You know what I mean? I like I said, I still think that Gil always tries to switch her negatives to positives. I like that he is always trying to find something good out of nothing, which is a good quality to have because then you can like adjust. You know what I mean? Even if you hate the place, at least come in and say something like, this ain't gonna be our honeymoon. We're gonna have to do this over. We're gonna have to go somewhere else and we're gonna have a real honeymoon suite. Ha ha ha. Laugh it off. Finish your free vacation week and go home. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to keep complaining about it over and over and over again and completely being a Debbie Downer and bringing down everybody else's energy. You're supposed to be trying to get to know him. You know what I mean? And this is definitely gonna put him off, which I think it already has. So, she says, I think he says something like your don't like list is getting even longer. Like the fact that he even has a list of all the things that's longer, of things that you don't like than you do like is a problem. So, she talks about there's no beach out there. It's just marsh. Gil says, we have to enjoy it for what it is. He does say that he likes that she is real and he can trust her because she says exactly what she needs and wants. But I feel like that's going to get old. He's going to be sick of that. You know what I'm saying? He says he wants to focus on the marriage and, he really doesn't have anything to complain about. Yeah, this isn't the most luxurious place, but the whole point is for us to get to know each other. Shoot, maybe Lifetime did it on purpose. Let's put them in, a not so great place and see if they can stick it out together. You know what I mean? Whatever. She, when he calls her on it, she calls herself a whiner. She says that. And she asks him, are you saying that I'm a Debbie Downer? And he's like, well, you're not a Karen. So I don't know which is better, Debbie Downer or a Karen, or is she just in the middle, but she's close to both. You know what I mean? And the fact that you know that about yourself and you're not doing anything to change it is ridiculous. Somebody on the panel that I was in, she went in on her like, this behavior is atrocious. She's too old to be acting like that. Who let her get away with this? How does she have any friends? And I agree. I would never want to go on a vacation with somebody like that, especially the vacations I have been on. Listen, with me, you're going to have a very nice, fun vacation and we're going to maximize it. The hotels might not always be the most luxurious, but you're going to have a good time with me. Okay? Let me just put it like that. So, Gil goes out to meet with the group because, they have their first meetup. And this is the first time the men are meeting the wives of the other couples, the other men. Yeah. And vice versa. Whatever. Mryla can't go. He says that she's working. I think that's a lie. I don't think she wants to be around anybody. And and this is what gives me an air of, from her, she has an air of, I'm better than. They're beneath me. I don't want to spend my time with them. This place is beneath me. I'm better than this. And even as if she's better than Gil. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. Even though she says that she likes him, um, I guess he's got to see through all the complaining. Gil went ham on her in front of everybody. He says she complains a lot. She has tantrums. He's kind of making it like he's saying it in jest, kind of jokey, but you know that it's real. You know what I mean? He says, I have to kind of treat her like a toddler. I kind of have to feed her and wait it out type of thing. And he's trying to joke, but everybody's kind of like, oh my goodness, if she knew that he was saying this about her, that would be a problem. Because it came off as gossipy and not just this is what I know about my wife, but let me talk about her. And that's not what he should not have thrown her under the bus the way that he did with them, with the women as well. Not knowing her, them not some of them not have met her yet. They're gonna meet her and already have preconceived notions about her. The way that he went about it was not great, but I think he was also airing his frustrations, trying to do it in a positive way or like a funny, jokey way, which he's completely justified in being frustrated with the situation. But the way that he did it, I didn't agree with. So, they talk about, he's like, who kissed? Everybody kissed each other except for him. She goes back and, they meet up and she's like, so what's the tea? What's going on with everybody? And he basically says everybody else has kissed except for us. And she's like, well, I don't kiss on the first, second, or third date. And here's the thing. I thought that he was pressuring her a lot this episode about, can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? It's not about how many dates, how long, how many days. If it's not there, it's not there. If she doesn't want to do it, she shouldn't do it and shouldn't feel pressured to do it. To me, I would feel more inclined to kiss somebody if you always wanted to ask me about it. Ask me, when's it going to happen? What do I have to do to make it happen? It's been this long. You know what I mean? Like, it should be something that happens naturally. And obviously, they haven't had that moment yet where it happened naturally. So just let it happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something about him is kind of putting me off too, but we'll see where this goes. I just didn't like the pressure. You know what I mean? Because again, it's only been a few days. So, and they haven't gotten there yet. So, she does say, listen, I am a touchy person, but not on day one. And I agree. You have to let her get comfortable with you. And right now she's not comfortable. So, she needs a new what? Oh, that's what she says. She needs a new ring because the one she has is not working. Again, you're still complaining. He got you that ring. He didn't know you. I feel like this is something she could have saved for another time when she got to know him better. Right now, you should just be appreciative of the free accommodations, the ring that you got from a guy that you didn't know, and so on and so forth. They sat down. He did surprise her with wine and flowers on the terrace, and it's the first thing that she didn't complain about. She thought it was nice. And he said his last relationship was 6 years ago, and she's kind of like giving him the side eye a bit. And she talks about her last relationships, and he did ask her, what did you learn from them? And she said, I learned what I really want in men, which is, at least he's a bit insightful, a bit. And they talk about the macaroons, and he says basically this is just like a fluffed up cookie, and she's like, no, this is a macaroon, the whole thing. And they seem to have a pretty light banter back and forth, but I feel like it's soon going to be passive aggression because he is still frustrated with a lot of her don't likes and don't wants. The next day he surprises her with taking her on the jet skis, but to get there they have to take like a seaboat there, and she says she doesn't want it. She's being difficult. I don't want to do this. I get seasick. I'm not happy about this, but because he tried, I'm gonna do it. She gets on the plane. She doesn't feel good. She says it was terrible. Again, more complaining, just horribly complaining. Like, her behavior is ridiculous. Nobody want to be around that. She says he asked her, I think he's trying to connect with her, see what she's like. Do you like riddles? No, I don't. You know what I mean? They have somewhat of a friendly relationship, but it's just not romantic. Is this what she goes through with a lot of her male friends that were at her dinner? Maybe they were potentially into her until they actually saw her personality and were like, you know what? She's cool enough, but I couldn't deal with her because I could never make her happy. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see how this works out because she's a piece of work. I couldn't be around her as a woman. I wouldn't want to be on vacation with her. I think that a lot of this is her showboating. I think this is just her trying to be completely opposite of her childhood. I think it was traumatizing for her to be as poor as she was. So now she's putting on that she's so high, sedity, and luxurious because I don't get that from her. I don't see her in the bomb pajamas, the bomb clothes. I could see Darcy, whether her stuff is real or fake, she still looks more upscale. You know what I mean? I don't get that from Mryla. She doesn't give me, she talks about the lashes and this and that, but to me, her skin isn't great. You know what I mean? I don't wear makeup because of this and that, but like, what's all of this red around here? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not even toned. I just don't, I think that it's BS. I think this is a whole lot of BS. She says she's in education. She trains the principals. I'm thinking New York City. Our principals probably make between like 120, 160, 180. If she trains the principals, I'm giving her maybe, this is what I'm giving her, maybe 200,000 a year. In Texas, it might be less because I know New York City, they pay their educators some of the highest in the country. What is all that? Like, I mean, yeah, you not know extreme millionaire, billionaire. That's great. I'm not knocking her for her accomplishments. It's great that she picked herself up. She got herself out the mud. She's very educated. She knows what she wants, the whole thing. But her behavior is ridiculous. And I feel like you're putting on for something. It's like, it's not real. This is beneath me thing. This is beneath me. I only do this. I only do that. I don't see it. You know what I mean? But either way, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you again after the next Married at First Sight. Bye-bye.